We are going live. I'm going to add my picture, so that you're just not looking at that. We'll see if anybody shows up. I'm adding this so that if uh, one of my new favorite YouTuber type personalities, if Cold Iron Oven needs more pictures of me for his memes, I gotta let him get a good look at me. Yeah, I'm wearing my Jesus Christ victory over death and all that. Um, just got back from the dentist. I got a brand new crown back here because apparently at some point I cracked a molar. So, I guess that happens when you're like working hard at the milk farm. Now, Bloodworth said he would love to join me possibly to talk about a video I made about, our good buddy, Mr. Garibay, the madman from the city of brotherly love. That's what I should call him, the madman from the city of brotherly love. Um, and yeah, I'll talk to him about it, obviously. I mean, Bloodworth is welcome on my show at any time. And I know the thing is, he's an older guy like me. And sometimes when we're all on here clowning around, and believe me, boy, this show can sometimes just be a straight up clown show, right? I think Bloodworth, he just sits there quietly for a while, and then he'll be like, well, I gotta get going. And I always feel bad because I'm like, because like when I'm on his channel, I always try to stay on point with the conversation and not get all wacky. But the problem, if it is a problem, that's going to be up to you guys who set through this to decide, is when I'm on this channel with, the usual suspects, then it can become an anything kind of goes situation really quick. Plus, sometimes me and the boys, we talk about shit that a lot of people are just not comfortable having their names attached to. And that's fine. I get it. I don't think anyone on my show, myself included, could be considered like, hey, Janet, what is up? I don't think any of us could ever be considered racist or anything. Like Bear, no. Shadwell, no. Me, no. I mean, I have some strong religious views, but that's not racism. So overall, I think I'm a pretty safe show to be around. Janet, I caught you playing some superhero stuff the other day, I think. Good stuff. Good stuff. Bear's heroic game is actually looking pretty cool, or maybe it's just all you guys playing it or making it look really cool. But and I put a video out last night, and at the end of the video, I got a little bit callous about Marissa Ray. And I want to say right now, live, I kind of regret it because I kind of feel like I was very ungentlemanly. Okay, now what I said, even whether it's my opinion, whether it's true or not, I really shouldn't talk about any lady that way. And besides that, I'm sure she doesn't have a roast beef or a moose knuckle. That's just me being crass. And so I regret that. Now, I'm not going to pull it down because I try not to pull anything down, but I will come back and be like, I kind of regret being mean about that. That was just mean. There was no reason for that. Hey, Daniel. Daniel, one of my most loyal bros. I mean, I know we don't hang out all the time, but that bro always pops in to say hello. I mean, every time. Like without fail, he is definitely one of the most reliable one of my bros on all of YouTube. Like if I go live, Daniel pops in to say hello. And you know what, Daniel? I appreciate you, bro. I do. Also, you're doing the sports highlights. I need to check that out and see how my Bruins is doing. That's right. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys. Okay. Let's go, Bruins. Except when I try to rub it in Bear's face that Florida has won a lot of Stanley Cups lately. But before Florida even had a hockey team, I was a Bruins fan, you know. Of course, that was back when I thought I was Irish because my whole life I was told I was Irish. So thinking that I was Irish, I always had like this weird affinity with South Boston and, you know, Irish punk that come out of Boston and of course the Irish rap that come out of New York and stuff like that. And then of course I get my DNA test back and it's like, yeah, you're 4% Irish, bucko. You're like 50% German. I was like, well, okay then. That's how it's gonna be. And yeah, Janet, I said something to you when you were on Bruce's show with the movie. I was quoting the Animaniacs. I was all like, hello, nurse. You guys were watching American Werewolf in London, which, let's be honest, is maybe one of the best movies ever made. It really is. And it, to me, people are like, oh, that's a horror movie. And I'm like, are you sure though? Because there's so much funny stuff in it that is, hey, Jeff, what is up, homie? I don't see you much. How you doing, Mr. Dinkar? I hope you are doing awesome. I've seen some really good videos lately. I'm not going to say I've made some, but I've seen some. Like Mr. Greyhawk is doing a read through of the Gazetteer, and I gotta say, I'm loving it. Just like Ronald McDonald would say, da 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 da. I'm loving it because deep down in my heart, if I'm not playing in the Adventure Conqueror King setting, back to work finally. Well, so you've been busy. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I had a relative who was on hospice. I went and spent like the week with her, you know, made sure to hold her hand, you know, and just listen and whatever. And before anybody gets old, she's over 90 years old. So I mean, you know, we should all be so lucky, right? To live to be over 90. And she's had like an amazing life. But I sat with her and talked to her about stuff. And then she passed away after that. So we're going back up to you know, attend the memorial and funeral and stuff. So I've been doing a lot of traveling, which I hate. I mean, everybody, you know, that knows me knows I hate traveling, but at the same time, I'm also like a huge proponent of obligations. You know what I mean? It's like if you got, yeah, it was just a loud car, buddy. Now you're barking at me. You know who I am, right? I'm the guy that gives you treats and takes you out to poop. You better calm down over there. But anywho, so yeah, I mean, it's a sad time, but not. No, it's a sad time, but it's not like. I mean, what do you say when somebody over in their 90s or over 100? This person wasn't, but it's like all the times I worked as a paramedic and stuff. You know, I guess I've numbed myself to it because it's like I could drop dead tomorrow at 54. You know what I mean? So the fact that she got 40 years on me, I'm like I said, we should all be so lucky, right? From my mouth to God's ears, as my pops would say. But we don't got to, but we're going to. And then my poor wife, she's going to be putting in work. I'm probably going to be being lazy most of the time, reading and stuff. But she promised to help her older brother sort out the house and everything. And yeah. So that's what we'll do. Now, there is a bonus to this situation. And the bonus to this situation is in the town we're going to, there is an amazing Greek restaurant. And my wife said that, yes, she will take me to it. So even though we're going for like not a happy occasion, it's gonna be like, away. At the same time, I'm going to be able to get some broccolini and maybe a gyro platter or some souvlaki or something. So, me, I love Mediterranean food, whether it's Greek, Lebanese, Jordanian, whatever. I've always been a huge fan of that. Maybe get some spanakopita to take home. And this is like this restaurant is like the restaurant from my big fat Greek wedding. And what I mean by that is like everyone who works in the restaurant is directly related to like everyone else. It's like it's family owned and operated. Like the waiter is like the 18 or 19-year-old son, and like the cook is like the uncle or something. I don't know what the exact specifics are, but plus when you walk in the place, every wall is like covered with holy icons of saints and stuff. So it's kind of like, I walk in, I'm like, damn, St. John the Baptist and St. Seraphim and St. John Kronstadt of Kronstadt. I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's real deal. This is real deal Greek food, and sadly, my very favorite Greek restaurant here in Orlando got killed by COVID. And basically because, they shut everything down and no one wanted to go out to eat. So the mom and pop restaurant that had been open in Orlando since the 70s had to shut its doors. And I mean, I think obviously that is an absolute shame. Like for sure, but what can you do? And the answer is nothing. You can do nothing. You can just be like, well, that sucks. But I don't know if we'll see Bloodworth. He did say he definitely wanted to hop on the channel with me, which means if Bloodworth pops up, whoever else is on the channel, I would ask them to be very respectful while Bloodworth talks to me about whatever he wants to talk to me about. Because, I mean, Bloodworth, ex-Army, teacher, respectable guy. And, I respect that guy very highly. Richard, I do. I mean, maybe it's because he's ex-Army, I'm ex-Army. He lives in New York. My pops is from New York. I don't know what it is, but he ranks pretty high up on my list of people that I respect. And, because, I mean, he's a man, you know what I mean? As my pops says, he's a mensch. Yeah, Dean Bloodworth is a mensch. That's what my dad would say. And that's a big deal. Some people think mensch just means, hey, what is up, George? Some people just think that mensch means man, which is kind of, but I've had to explain this so many times. No, it's not just because mensch is German, like das Übermensch, the Superman, right? So yeah, it does mean man, but in Jewish society, culture, whatever, if you call somebody a mensch, it doesn't mean that guy's a man. It means that guy's reliable. He's a good guy, he a good fella. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the opposite of being a schmuck. If someone's a schmuck, then that means that, they're an idiot. They don't know shit. You can't count on them for shit. They're just not a good guy, right? But if they're a mensch, it means, yeah, you need something handled, this guy is going to hook you up. He's a mensch, right? So basically kind of, yeah. And Richard to me is a mensch, I mean, The fact that he spent like 30 years or whatever teaching those little bastards up there, you know, in the school system and stuff, I could never do that. I mean, will I run into a burning building to save your dog? Yeah. I'll risk my life to save your dog or cat. I'll do it every shift when I used to work, right? Do I want to sit in a room with a bunch of teenagers and try and explain math? Hell no. It's like I always tell my wife, because my wife, she has like a corpo job, right? And when we talk about, I'm like, I would never want to do your job in a billion years, man. Her job is so much harder in my mind than anything I ever did, because it's like she's got to be nice all the time. She's got to, know all the rules and the ins and the outs and who's who and what's what and where's where, right? Whereas when you're a firefighter, man, you just do your job, right? And as long as you're doing your job, you're good. You really ain't got shit to worry about, It's just what it is. Yeah, but yeah. It's kind of like a good old boy, but there's even more, like I said, calling somebody mensch is saying that they are a good man. Like they're in right with the synagogue. They'll hook you up if you need anything. You can count on them. They're a mensch. They're a good man. Now, Bear, who just said it means man, he's 100% right. If we're talking German, it just means man. But if we're talking Yiddish, oh man, it can mean a lot of things. Mensch can mean a lot of things. All of them really, really good. So if I call any of you guys mensches, like George is a mensch, as far as I know, he's never led me to believe he's not, then take it for what it is. I'm saying you're a good guy. You're a good guy. You're dependable. You're a good guy. And you can call someone you don't even like a mensch. Whether you actually like them or not has anything to do with whether they're a mensch or not. A mensch is somebody who takes care of their family, keeps the bills paid, does what needs to be done. That's a mensch, And I don't know what's going on, because when I was part of that culture, and by that I mean, conservative Judaism, there was like this huge currency around masculinity, being the man, handling business and shit like that. But lately it's like every time I see these guys online claiming to be Jewish, it's the exact opposite. It's like, you guys aren't mensches. Sorry, you can claim to be the part of that religion all you want, but I think you're missing the point. Which we talked about that the other day, because I've got a hater who I don't hate, I actually like, and he's mad at me because he claims to be gay and Jewish. And I pointed out that those two things don't mix. But for some reason, some people think they do. And I'm like, look, I spent over 20 years being a conservative Jew, going to synagogue, the whole 9 years, kosher and all. And I'm telling you right now, I know what Moses says about that shit. And Moses is the big guy, I mean, obviously Yahweh's the big guy, or Adonai, right? We would say Adonai. You never say the name of God, but Moses wrote the Torah. And if you're doing anything in your life that is directly opposed to Torah, then guess what? You're not Jewish. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. But for some reason, people seem to think that they can. Hey, what's up, ad nauseum? And it's sad, because then they get mad at you, and it's like, brother, I'm not trying to piss you off. Far from it. I'm just letting you know. If the whatever you claim to be a member of is actually true, one day you're going to have to stand in front of the throne, and the life you are living is going to be, it's not going to work out for you, because, Deuteronomy and Leviticus and all that is a thing. Now, having converted to Christianity, I have forgiveness. So it's not so much, oh, you're living that lifestyle, you should be put to death, which that's Deuteronomy and Leviticus. Now it's like, oh, you're living that lifestyle. Well, that's very sinful and you shouldn't do it. But I'm not saying you should be put to death either. I mean, do your thing, but I'm just letting you know it's not right. You shouldn't do it. But hey, you're a free person, right? That's the main reason I converted, if anybody ever wanted to know. It was the redemption thing, you know. But I'm a redemption junkie anyway. I mean, my favorite character in the Lord of the Rings is Boromir. Why? Because he effed up, but then he redeemed himself. And then, of course, you've got all these other great redemption stories throughout, you know, our history. And I love it. I absolutely love when someone makes a mistake and then pulls their ass out of the fire and becomes a good guy. You know what I mean? To me, that is like the best part of any story, you know. And you know, so obviously, when it comes to religion, I'm going to end up, you know, it's just a matter of time, I guess. I was going to end up being the one that's all about redemption. And I think a big part of it is because I know for a fact I need it more than anybody else I know, you know? Like, if anybody thinks I'm judgmental with them, they got me totally wrong, because I honestly believe I am the biggest sinner I know. And I just keep trying every day to be a little better than I was the day before, and it's super hard. Yeah, free will is a hell of a thing, ain't it? I mean, on the one hand, it's awesome because you get to choose what you want to do. On the other hand, you know, you can choose things that aren't necessarily good for you. And like I said, I don't judge anybody like so much because boy, I know I'm guilty, but it's not we're not having a, I mean, I can always go to confession if I feel like I need confession. I don't got to do that with you guys. If you look over beside me here, you guys have already seen this guy. This is one of the big Trader Mechanicum stalker tank monstrosities. I've got 8 of these. I love them. I love them for epic. And then because all of your Martian stuff, so your Mechanicum stuff can be combined, I'm building some standard Mechanicum assault tanks because I can use them with my Mechanicum army or my Dark Mechanicum army. However, the Mechanicum army cannot use those stalker tanks because those are trader only. Same problem in politics. The intersection of necessity and liberty, exactly. And it's like, well, see, I am a taxationist theft far right guy, kind of, because I still believe there should be safety net programs for like old ladies and stuff. You know, like I feel like we live in such a great, wonderful country with enough money that they waste on every stupid thing ever, that no old woman should ever have to worry about eating. That is insane. You know, no, you know, I mean, it's always been my opinion that you can tell how good a society is by how they treat the mentally deficient. Let's just say autistic or retarded. That's what I'm talking about here. And the elderly. If a society does not treat the elderly and the retarded or autistic people good, it's not a good society. They need to straighten the hell up. That's just my opinion. Now, you know, some people will argue, but I'm sorry, man. That's just how I don't know. I don't know why I think that. Maybe from reading books and stuff, I got that opinion. But yeah. So while I am 100% Second Amendment, First Amendment, all the amendments except for the 19th, because of, you know, Morning Glory Milk Farm. Yeah, Shoe on Head has basically made it where I think maybe women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Which she said that, and I just agree based on her argument. But But at the same time, yeah, people should be able. No one should have to starve. And I'm not saying lazy people that just want to mooch off the system. I'm talking about legit people who got issues and need help. They should get the help they need. 100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, it may, and if anybody starts bitching about, well, that would cost too much money, I got an idea. Stop sending money to everywhere else in the world.
Hey, James. How's James doing today?
George, you're not wrong. How am I doing? Well, I just got back from the dentist, but it was just to get a temporary crown removed and the permanent put in. Okay. And my dentist is a little badass Vietnamese guy, so he hammered it. You know what I mean? And it was like in and out. And he's like, "Catch you later, brother." And I was like, "Catch you later, doc." And he's like, "I'll always be there for you, James." And I'm like, "I know you will, bro." We could be related though, because he's Vietnamese. So we could distantly be cousins. I don't know. He and I talked about one day. He's like, "You got a Vietnamese sister?" "Yeah, older sister." And he's like, "Where's she live?" And I was like, "Ho Chi Minh City. She's a teacher." He's like, "Wow." I was like, "Well, the paterfamilias, he had a thing for that yellow fever when he was over there, And he's like, "Say no more. I got it, So,
I tell you what, there are some stunning Oriental ladies out there.
The Vietnamese are especially beautiful because they've got that Asian plus French European mix. And I don't know what it is, but it's like, it seems to me like when you mix a European with an Asian, predominantly you end up with an even more beautiful woman than either of the first two. A lot of times. People may disagree with that, but
I would have to see, because I just want to be sure before I affirm or deny something.
Well, the reason so many Vietnamese women are so beautiful is because they are part French. And George, even though I think LDS is probably a heresy, I have an uncle that's a member. I think that they're probably a lot closer to being let in by Peter than somebody who voted to take someone else's money. Right? Because the socialism thing directly just pukes all in the face of the charity thing. And it's like voting for me to give you my money, to whether you're going to spend it to do something good or not. That's not charity. That's actually theft. That's sinful. And even if a good thing happened because of it, it still doesn't change that what you did is rob me at gunpoint. I mean, people, when people are left to their own devices, especially within the church, any churches really, you see a lot of charity, man.
Well, isn't the rule for charity, you can keep up to 2% for your own personal use or for bookkeeping or for paying?
I don't know. I'm talking about biblical charity. I'm not talking about like how these idiots say they're doing a charity, but then they keep 70% for administration and blah, blah, blah. Because those people, I don't think, are doing it right, Bruce. I'm sorry I cut you off too. If you were going to say something else, but no, charity is when you drop a couple bags of canned soup off at the local church, and maybe throw a couple bucks here or there to help out, Winnie Palmer or something like that, so that some kids with cancer don't have to worry about shit, right? If you have to justify a system ad nauseum, then it's not a good system. Actually, if you have to justify any action you do, you're probably wrong.
Probably not a good action.
Because if it's a good action, you never have to justify it. And this is actually an old Jewish thing that I picked up back then, Like if you're doing the right thing, you never have to justify why you're doing it, right? You only got to justify shit when you're wrong. And the fact that you're justifying it basically is you admitting that you're wrong, right? Like if you cheat on your wife, but then you try to say, well, actually, she hasn't really been giving me good loving lately. So really, it was her fault. Blah, blah. No, you're justifying something bad you did, and you're wrong. Now, if you need to talk to her about getting some of that good loving, I mean, talk to her about it. But let her know, hey,
that's nobody else's business. So the rest of us,
Yeah, I'm just using that as an example because I've heard that from people that I know a lot. And I was actually just talking to my wife about it. Not the give me good loving woman, but the person I know that justified some actions I definitely would not approve of by saying that. And that's why I use that. But it could be anything, man. It could be anything, The worst is these people who want to do evil things, but then they want to justify it by saying that it's, freedom or liberty or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you have the right to run around in assless chaps. That is a liberty that you have. But that don't mean it's good. I mean, because like ad nauseum said, free will is what was it the Vorlon said in Babylon 5? Something, truth is a three-edged sword or some shit like that.
I think it was something very akin to that.
Yeah, because there's what you think is true, what they think is true, and then what's actually true. But current regime is built on top of a lot of contradictions that no one wants to point out. I think serving for men and childbearing for women should be the minimum to be allowed. I'm going to say that I agree with you because I do. I'm even more hardcore. I know Heinlein wrote Starship Troopers as satire, but I agree with him.
I don't think he wrote it as satire. I'm like, I don't think he wrote it as satire. I bet he was in a drinking contest and his buddies were like, make something that could never happen. And he's like,
well, the thing with Robert E. Heinlein is he was a degenerate leftist piece of shit in real life. And then he writes Starship Troopers, which is like the most like right-leaning libertarian style system you can imagine. And then people actually attacked him and called him a fascist and stuff back when he wrote it. And it's like, but he didn't believe that. He was 100% down with the free love and all that shit back in the 60s.
Of course, everybody was.
Yeah, and that's why we're all effed up today. I mean, I'll tell you what, like my good buddy over there, Holy Diver, says this a lot, and he's 100% true. I agree. The boomers ruined everything. They ruined everything. Because you had all these guys come back from World War II, crank out a bunch of kids, and then those kids mostly grew up to be idiots.
The problem that I have is we were given a glimpse of a potential future with the Art Deco stuff. We had the steam engines change their appearance from these huge bolted monstrosities to these wonderfully sleek, beautiful, fast-moving vehicles. And we could see the buildings. We could go with these amazing architectural wonders. And then, for some odd reason, we completely reversed our course and said, nah.
Yeah, they were sold a lie. I agree ad nauseum. Well, I mean, what happened is, and you can blame someone like Pascal. I mean, how far you want to go back? It's like at some point, art went from being about truth and beauty to being about ugliness. And that's kind of where we are now. Like modern art is meaningless. It really is what some people would call trash art.
Trash tier shit.
Yeah, I mean, I remember this one professor gave a speech. I listened to it, and he had a really, really old apron, and he cut a swatch out of the apron, and he took a picture of it and gave it to his whole class, and he lied to them, and he said it was a modern art piece, right? And they were all to write a paper on how that modern art made them feel. And all of these morons go into a university, I think it was Berkeley, so SoCal Berkeley or whatever. They wrote all these big glowing 600-page essays on how this thing made them feel. And after they turned all their paperwork in, he like told them, no, that was just a square I cut out of my paint thing. It means nothing. You're all wrong. And it's like, so he played the trick on them. But yeah, I mean, nothing has been made in the last couple hundred years that could compete with like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. How you doing, Tim?
Modern art's so bad, people have been trolling it by just doing stupid things like putting glasses on the floor at an art museum and calling it art.
Well, it's like that one guy that like pissed in a jar and put a crucifix in it and then put a lid on it, and they called it Pissing Christ, and that thing was literally displayed in the New York Museum of Art and whatever, you know. And it's like, no, that shouldn't be displayed. The guy who made it should maybe be burned at the stake. Because we've kind of gotten a little bit far away from where we should be.
Every day we venture further from God's love.
I think somebody even took like a plastic chair, like, you know, those plastic chairs that you'd have in the yard, and put that in like a museum and trick people into thinking it was part of the exhibit.
Dude, you're not even touching on the best one. The guy who like duct tape a banana to a wall.
Yeah, that one. I forgot about that one.
Right? And everybody's like, oh my God. And then somebody wanted to buy it. Yes, that is a fact ad nauseum. And that is very observant. Modern art is money laundering.
Yeah.
Because if you need to launder, you know, $1 million, well, all you got to do is use your bad money to buy, you know, $1 million piece of modern art. And then get the money back on the back end from the artist. And boom. Yeah, it's so dumb, you know? Like somebody did a picture of a female cop pissing in the middle of the street and tried to call that art. It's like, if that's art, then these little figures I'm building are art. And they're not art. They're game pieces. You know? Art has to mean something. Tolkien is art because it means something. It has a truth to it.
The Wizard of the Coast pictures that they use, it's only like Chutes and Ladders if it was all gay.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Bear showed it to me again because yeah, there's Vic. Yeah. So Double D showed it, and then Bear re-showed it to me, and then I watched John Dela Cruz or Della whatever, his comment on it, and it's like it's all bad. It's all bad. Also, yeah. I do want to say this too: the worst episode of Critical Role with Matt Mercer running the game is better than that bullshit we had to sit through last week. That freaking Jughead McMulligan or whatever his damn name is, that guy is horrible.
Just don't care.
No wonder Matt was sitting there with his arms crossed, mean mugging the whole damn time. And another player on Critical Role goofing off on his cell phone at the table. It's like, you guys make millions of dollars and this guy sucks so bad that one of the players is playing on his cell phone? I mean, that is just like, and you know, but then again, I will admit, I like Matt Mercer.
I don't think he's horrible.
No, he's played some cool, he had some cool parts in some shows. Like, I mean, Edge Runners, he's Falco. Not a major
I don't actually, who was Falco?
the driver that they had.
Okay. I don't actually give a shit about his voice acting.
Mm.
I'm saying based on interviews and stuff I've seen him. I'm not saying him and I could ever be buddies. He'd probably think I'm an ignorant redneck, whatever. But he does come off as kind of a nice guy, like he's never
Sometimes, yeah.
done much or said much that made me think, yeah, this guy is a freaking schmuck. New Watsy picture. You know what's crazy? According to John Delarose, the beholder with the double heart in its eyes, that double heart is a symbol that is used by a nonprofit that Wizards of the Coast apparently supports. And it represents people who are attracted to underage girls.
Yep.
And so, like, if that is true, because we're in the realm of, dun, 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 right? Then it means that Wizards of the Coast may have inadvertently or vertently, if that's even a word, put an advertisement in their official product for like people who are like pedalicious, PDF files.
I think it's hilarious. That's where I want today's conversation to go, because I honestly feel that they've revealed their entire hand with all this shit going on.
Yeah. Falco is the guy who sang Rock Me Out. Yeah, he was Austrian. His best song, though, was Jenny, I think. But then again, it depends on how you feel about whatever you feel about. But, I mean, Rock Me Amadeus is definitely awesome. But Jenny was a really good song. And then, of course, After the Fire did Rock Me Amadeus in English instead of German. Because unlike one of our former presidents, Austrians don't have their own language. They speak German. Except for some of them near the border speak Italian.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, near like Turin or Torino or whatever. They're it's part of Austria, but they speak Italian because they are Italian. So
I mean, the natural features are the border. They didn't that was the border for years, and so people walk around forests and around mountains, and
yeah,
it's kind of how it works.
Switzerland's the same way. It's like some of them speak German, some of them speak Italian, some of them speak French. Just depends where you are. Yeah, doing the 90s thing. Well, he pointed out that in that art, and Vic, the invite's there, that in that art, I guess there's a giant penis tower. And then there's a big blue tiefling. I thought was a minotaur that's getting ready to totally tear the butt out of that poor black guy.
I saw that.
And the lesbian grandma, that's kind of a little over the top. It's like...
They put the fuck crazy minotaur in there, and I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it's sitting there like,
it's like you've already had enough with minotaurs this month, please. We can do without any more minotaur stuff.
Crazy people have.
No, that's the flavor of the month. If you're a mainstream faggot, we're just gonna have minotaurs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that gay dudes are into the minotaurs. It seems to be overweight women that are
a lonely, overweight, white liberal woman would all be for the minotaur, because he would go places even the black guy wouldn't.
Right. And not just liberal white women. You gotta be fair. That one Asian girl does a whole thing on that book about how it represents Marxism and our need to get rid of capitalism and fully embrace Marxism. And I'm like, really? It's a book about jerking off minotaurs. How do you get communism out of that?
I didn't understand how she got to communism. She never showed her work on how she arrived at that logical conclusion.
Yeah, but it was funny how she said it, though. That tingling in the vagina, that's communism. It's like, wait, what? I'm pretty sure that's not how communism works.
I'm pretty
Mountain
certain it's more
Germans
like
are
the
forest Germans, and you also got to remember, George, swamp Germans. And the swamp Germans are the ones that live in like Belgium and Holland. The Netherlands, those are swamp Germans. So you got swamp Germans, forest Germans, and mountain Germans. What the hell are you all talking about? BRC? I don't know if you want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a satanic figure. See, I miss the good old days when tieflings could never be good. And they always leaned towards evil. And you had to random roll like actual demonic infernal traits, and they were all different. And of course, those days were AD&D. Not that I ever wanted anybody to play tieflings overly much, but these new like dragon-tailed, weird horned things, I don't even know what that is. Because like in the old video game, Neverwinter Nights, you could get a tiefling to join your group, and she was a really cute redhead until you saw her without her like special shoes and shit on, and realized she had like goat legs and hooves, and you know, underneath her red curly hair there were little horns, and she always smelled a little bit like sulfur. So you're like, okay, that's not a love interest, you know what I mean? That's a monster, but she's a good thief though, so we'll keep her around, right? But
my favorite on that game was still the girl that you started with. Hey, yeah, she would jump out of nowhere and ambush you by Candlekeep, and
yeah, that was a good
Remember
game, man. It's the best tiefling is a truly cursed character. It should be, yeah. And that was in AD&D. Yeah, if you played tiefling, you were going to be probably chaotic neutral, parentheses E, because you remember we invented that with tendencies bullshit to go with alignment. And you were probably going to be a thief, an assassin, maybe a bard, maybe a mage, who knows. If you were a cleric, it was going to be to an evil god or a neutral god. And everyone hated you and would kill you on sight. That was the life of the AD&D tiefling. Which is why, like I said, in Neverwinter Nights, the one tiefling you end up meeting, she keeps it secret she's a tiefling as long as she can. Because she knows if people find out that she's half a demon, they're going to burn her ass at the stake. Because that's what you do.
what I hate is that they got rid of the Alufiend.
BRC, you know you want to know. Anyway, look at this, BRC. It's some Martian heavy assault tanks. What do you think? Pretty freaking dope, right? Pretty nice. That's right. Put a bunch of Martian Skitarii around these bad boys and just run for it. Never used non-Tolkien races in my games. Yeah, I could totally see that being a thing. You know. Like, one thing I don't like about modern D&D, and this is just me, and even AD&D, one thing I never really liked was like the 50 flavors of elf. I never liked that. I always more like the BX, hey, you're an elf, you know? Even if we're using AD&D rules and you can be like, you know, an elf this and an elf that, at the end of the day, the fact that even in Greyhawk, there ended up being like 7 distinct ethnicities of elf is kind of stupid. And I don't like it. At dwarves, they didn't get too crazy with because there's only like 3. And let's be honest, you can only really play the one. Hill dwarves. I mean, unless your DM's a lunatic, then he might let you play a deep dwarf or a mountain dwarf, but you know.
Mountain dwarves in my game are the most hateful, the most segregated, and the most opinionated on everyone else in the world.
Well, they kind of should be.
They completely go on that chaotic bent because they're very selfish. They're very insular.
Yeah.
And they don't talk to non-dwarves very well.
Yeah, to me, mountain dwarves are like holler people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They live way up in those damn mountains. They're probably inbred as shit, and they don't want you near their stuff. You know, they're like, if you're walking through a mountain path and you get near a mountain dwarf settlement, you're gonna have a bunch of dwarf warriors run out and be like, "Why are you here? Who sent you? How'd you find this place?" At which point they'll be like, "Get the fuck out of here," you know?
They'll have markers out. They'll have, hey, there's a wall that's preventing me to progress over here.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, "Oh, come on in, let's have a drink." No, they're going to be like,
No.
"Hey, I don't know who you are. You need to get the hell out of here right now. Or you will never get out here. We will chuck you down a crevasse, and that will be the end of you." Right? We've got a natural sinkhole over here. We can chuck you in it. No one will ever find you. So, yeah, I suggest you just go on. Right? That to me is like the mountain dwarf. Not blatantly evil, just super racist against everyone that's not them. Maybe they might be a little bit cool with like a hill dwarf if you play your cards right.
You got to play them really right.
Yeah, racist class, I never had a problem with it. But we moved on to AD&D pretty quick. I mean, I started with Moldvay BX, but it was like literally a month after I started playing BX. My mom bought me the AD&D books, and we started with which I'll be honest, I know my brother liked because he played a dwarf, and then when he got to play like a dwarf warrior, he was even super happier about it. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, a thing. He wanted to play a dwarf warrior or a dwarf cleric, DM approval only. And a lot of his characters later on were like, he did play some dwarf clerics of Moradin. And there for a while, he was playing a dwarf thief, which was really kind of cool. Because his whole deal, he wasn't really a thief. He was more of a wayfinder type character. So his class was thief, obviously. I've already made that clear. But what his character mostly did is patrol the undertunnels of the dwarf hold like a ranger, basically, So he used his stealth and his leather armor and his crossbow, and he was basically just cruising around making sure that there weren't any monsters trying to come up from below. And that was his job. He would go from one hold to the next nearby, on patrols. Now, I could have just said, "Hey, play a dwarf ranger." And while that might have been against some rules, I mean, to hell with it, because that's what he was doing. He was being a dwarf ranger. Now, in Warhammer, you can just play one, a dwarf ranger. And, because, all of the dwarf holds were at least at some point connected together by the under highway, right? And in this day and age, when so many of the holds have fallen to goblins and Skaven and every other thing, yeah, it's important to have a class of dwarf warrior who's good at sneaking around just to keep an eye on shit, right? Does that make sense? New 3-part alignment system, lawful good, bigoted, chaotic, neutral, but not racist, right? Well, I don't know who came up with the parentheses. Maybe Big Vic does, because Big Vic's, he's in tight with like a lot of the original like D&D people. But at some point in the game, you started getting like lawful good, parentheses neutral tendencies, or lawful neutral parentheses evil tendencies, or lawful neutral good tendencies. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. But it did mean that you could have basically, instead of the base 9 alignments, you had, I guess, the base 27 alignments. Yeah, 27 damn alignments, really. And a lot of players seem to really like that for some reason. Even way back in the day, like back, 90s and shit. It was that weird parentheses thing. But then again, a lot of things got added to the game.
I just want to know why we don't value Palladium's donation to the alignment discussion.
I don't know. And watch, Nerdy Ogre will show up now. You mentioned Palladium. But
that'd be great.
I have heard so many people attest or testify that Palladium has a great alignment system. I don't know for sure. I mean, I did have the fantasy game and I gave it away because I realized I was never going to play it. So I just gave the rule book away. But I still have my Recon and Advanced Recon.
Mm-hmm.
And in those books, their alignments are more like personality features. So like your character can be a sociopath, or he can be like a really benign guy, or like, I mean, I'd have to dig my book out to look at it, but there's like a ton of like what, and it actually describes like how your character works. So if you're playing Recon and you want your character to be like fully open to like just killing everything, make him psychotic. That is a choice. You can be a U.S. GI in Vietnam that is freaking psychotic. And we've seen it in the movie Platoon. That one dude with the freaking shotgun.
Barnes.
Yeah, that guy was psychotic. Yeah, Barnes said that guy was weird too. But I don't know if it's Barnes, but I'm thinking of the young guy that was kind of a ginger and he always carried that pump shotgun. And he just killed everybody. I mean, that mother, he was just, he just seemed to like killing Vietnamese people, regardless of whether they were, VC or not. He was just a killer. He was the good old boy. He's like a Southerner with a shotgun, and he liked shooting Vietnamese people because they were Asian or some shit. But World of Darkness Humanity System, yeah, that's not bad. That's not horrible because, I mean, if you F up enough, you lose your character. I mean, that's just what's with that. And your vampire will become a white, and then all the other vampires will have to hunt him down and murder him. Because, once they become a white, they basically live only to feed. Like whoever they used to be is now 100% gone. They're just the monster now. But they're still smart enough to like not be stupid and get cooked in the sun. How you doing, Bear?
Hello.
You made the cut in another series of animations.
Animations?
Well, not necessarily animations, but memes.
Yes, it's quite exciting.
My favorite is the one where we're in the leather dungeon.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it just came out today, like 5
Oh, you haven't sent them to me.
Wrong turn at Albuquerque.
I just got back from the dentist not that long ago.
James, you're talking about Kevin Dillon in Platoon, aren't you?
Yeah, the young guy with the.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful. I have to admit, Bear, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. The art you showed me yesterday, I was totally.
That's not in this. That's not in this. This is the pre-release, so I got to redo the layout.
But yes, huge fan. Huge fan. Looks good. Probably will buy.
Just wanted to show that off for a second. Now I'm happy.
Well, in this particular meme, we're in a leather dungeon surrounded by the guys from like the Blue Oyster.
Yes.
Where's Shadow? My guy is standing there saying, "Are you guys sure we're in the right dungeon?" And Shadow's standing next to me, and he's just saying yes. And then you're standing there like, this is why I hate D&D. And then there's someone I don't even know standing there being like, what up? And then one of the leather guys in the back's like, we like bears here. And it's just like,
Wow.
oh my God.
It's bears
this
are always
guy.
welcome.
And then, of course, there's one where we're all working at like the soda stand, like Soda Jerks, but we're selling various Minotaur-related sodas.
I gotta join your Discord, man.
Reprobate has arrived.
Can someone send me the link to his Discord, please, so I can join it?
Let me find it. Hold on.
And it's under memes. I'll tell you what, I have to love this guy because I know for a fact he watches every freaking minute of my live streams and videos because he gets the pictures and the jokes that are like 3 hours into a live stream.
Yeah.
So whoever he is, I mean, he's definitely. But he sent me a message, said he'd stop if he ruffled any feathers, and he's just having a good time. And I'm like, well, good. Knock it up, knock it out. I told him post it on X, man. Shit.
Pinochet's Discord?
Pinochet's no, you should have gotten the
Adventure Conquering King and other OSR games, and it says Pinochet made it or something.
Well, no, Pinochet is Bruce's
okay.
Discord guy.
Okay.
Because he's always wanting to give out helicopter rides. But if it just says Adventure Conquer King with the original Adventure Conquer King art,
fresh fish, bears are always welcome. Are we in the right dungeon? Hell yes. This is why I hate D&D. Hey. These are good, man.
The Milk Minotaur Diner. Wow.
Let's play. Too straight for modern D&D. All right, let's pair off and get to it. Emperor protects, the Emperor protects, the Emperor protects.
Like the Emperor protects.
Drinks potion. I'll handle the toaster. I know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but the guy, he does some good ones. Some of them are just really, and like I said, I know for a fact that guy is watching my content. Like with a fine-tooth comb. He is definitely going through it.
God bless him.
God bless him. Yeah, if he's having a good time. I mean, I'm just sitting there looking afraid, being like, the Emperor protects. The Emperor protects.
The Emperor protects. The Emperor protects. The Emperor
Sign of the
protects.
Aquila or something like, back you bull man.
Oh my God. I'm in the memes and I'm just looking at this. This guy's gold. I want him to be my friend.
Well, like I said, he sent me a text. He said, I was doing these because I watch all your stuff and I think it's funny. And I thought you'd think it's funny. And if you don't think it's funny, I'll stop. And
No,
I'm like,
Jesus,
no,
more.
Stop. Keep going. Knock yourself
More.
out. I mean,
Shadow's like, the flock is not divided. This is devilry. And James says,
oh, yeah.
I stopped Curry.
Yeah, that's part 4 because apparently after Shadwell got freaking bear burned at the stake, it split the congregation.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, I smell curry.
Gary wrote the rule, therefore it is to be followed. Gary himself ignored the rule at his own table. I smelled curry.
I'm like Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Except I'm like, I know curry.
I smell curry.
Which means he was watching the other day when at like hour 2, I went off on eating a lot of curry and how it upset my stomach.
The fucking beholder in the back. Oh my God.
Oh, that's Wizard of the Coast. And we've all been like having opinions about that damn beholder.
Have you seen the amazing fucking animations they've been doing on X with that painting? Where they're animating it to have like, there's this one collection where the guy put all the animations together where he's got Mob Rules playing. And it's basically every one of the animations, they're all happy and dancing. Then like a dragon flies in and lights everybody on fire. A necromancer shows up and kills everybody. A horde of raiders run through cutting everybody to pieces. And they're just using AI to animate them, but it's really good.
We need Emrakel to show up and just regulate that whole situation.
I think Emrakul would.
Emrakel the Chaotic, just have him come through on horseback and start zapping.
Yeah, he would save us all.
I mean, be like, yeah, enough of this. Yeah, John Delarose or whatever. He, and this could be all bullshit, but he says that the double heart thing in the Beholders thing links to a pro PDF file webpage where they're into girl lovers or something. So they're into underage girls. And Wizard of the Coast may not know because it's like it's a couple. It's like there's the one layer and then the next layer.
Well,
Like
I'd want proof before
this
I.
organization, but this organization supports this other organization.
I'd want. Okay, can you? There we go. I'd want proof before I said yay or nay on that one or condemned anyone. But if it's true, man, that's some sick shit.
Yeah. That's why I said I don't know, because apparently the symbol of this organization is a heart within a heart.
Okay.
And the Beholder's eyeball is a heart within a heart. Coincidence?
Well, these would be the these would be
100% maybe.
But these would be the same assholes that are supporting this and doing this, who that if you showed them all the Pizzagate stuff, they'd be like, that's just conspiracy theory. You know?
And that's why I said, is it a coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. I mean, these guys are, it's like, I remember how they used to always want everybody to donate to the Lambert House, which is literally a house where people who are confused about their lives can run away from home and hang out with a bunch of adults that support a particular lifestyle. So, I mean, for all I know, the Lambert House thing could just be a giant G-rooming freaking thing, you know? It's like, you know, unless you're the kind of douchebag parent that your son comes up and says, I'm gay, and you're like, get out of my house. I mean...
Well, those guys still exist.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Now, would I try to be like, look, you know that you can have inclinations and not act on them, right? And that's not a sin at all. And hopefully he'd listen. But hey, if he doesn't, then I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, right? We're not burning people at the stake.
If you're Bruce, then you say something like, that's okay, son. There's 4 other brothers you have.
Well,
and I'm sure they'll give me, they'll give me some grandkids.
No, I'm just saying, if I ever had a son and that happened, I would not be happy, but I would also not turn my back on family.
So my buddy Renz, his son, Noah, good kid. He used to keep saying to him all the time. He used to say to him all the time, like, you know, listen, you know, if you're gay, I want you to feel comfortable, you know, telling us if you're gay. Like, we're not going to judge you and all that stuff. He said it so many times over the course of this kid's life. Like when he was a teenager, he's like, Dad, why do you think I'm gay? He just finally snapped at him. He's like, I'm not gay. Why do you keep telling me it's okay if I'm gay? I'm not gay.
Right?
I was crying, laughing when I heard that. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
I mean, sometimes it makes you feel like they're expecting something of you.
Right. I mean, I raised 2 daughters, and at no time did I ever be like, hey, just so you know, it'd be perfectly cool if you're a lesbian. No, I just kind of minded my business. I mean, if they came to me and said they wanted to do that, I'd been like, okay. Actually, I'd have been like, yeah, whatever. Because let's be honest, teenage girls are lesbians at some point in high school, every teenage girl's a lesbian.
Not every. Like I've had a few friends who like they're like homophobic males about it. They're like super disgusted by it. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though.
No, the average
it's
is
not like the huge stigma.
No,
like,
look. It used to be enough of a stigma that it was a college experience. Now it's a high school experience.
Right. If some girl comes out and says, yeah, I date girls now, you're just kind of like,
okay.
All right.
Okay, whatever.
Cool. Just let me know if she beats you. And if you feel like beating her, don't. You know.
And I know the reason, and it's very crass and crude. The reason people accept lesbians more than homosexuals is the lack of the penetrative act.
No, it's just hotter. Watch it.
Okay, that's cruder than what I
Okay,
said.
listen,
but maybe
okay,
true,
no,
too.
No, it's really simple, okay? For a woman to be with another woman, it diminishes her femininity zero. Nothing. She can still be feminine, she can still be attractive and all this. The minute you find out a guy's railing other guys or getting railed, his masculinity declines immensely in the public eye. Hence why in movies, there are a lot of gay actors who have to keep in the closet. Rock Hudson was one of the examples. Tom Cruise is allegedly one, because they fear that if it came out that they were gay, they wouldn't be able to be action stars and leading men.
Because
no
people
one
would look
believe
at
it.
them different.
Exactly. Where no one gives a fuck if it's a woman. In
I'll
fact, if
tell
she's
you
in a
what,
romantic scene, they're like, good, maybe that guy will fuck her straight. That's the attitude they have.
I worked with a openly gay firefighter, and that dude like lifted weights and was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was butch as shit. You know what I mean? And the only rule was when he worked on my shift is don't come in here telling us about your sexual exploits because no one here wants to hear it. But I was that same way with the straight dudes. Like if they wanted to brag about banging their wife, I'd be like, no. You know what I mean? We're not doing that here. Sorry. You know? And you've heard the story. How I told my one bro, I'm like, you're sitting here bragging about how good your wife gives blowjobs. I'm like, we're going to be hanging out at the Christmas party. I'm going to be sitting across the table from your wife. I was like, do you really want me imagining how good she gives blowjobs? Is that thing you want? So that put an end to that shit pretty quick, you know? Because it's like,
I never understood that anyway. Why would you be talking about that?
Because who did that? Dave Chappelle did a skit on that about how you ask a white guy about politics or something. He's like, hold on, buddy. Hold on now. We don't talk about that.
That's really private. Anyway, I was fucking my wife in the ass the other night.
Right. And it's like, I don't know why, but there are guys out there that are that way.
Yeah.
He's like, no, don't bring that shit to me. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I try not to be that way.
Yeah, I'm going to send Vic a bunch of ships I got laying around that I'm never going to use that apparently him and the colonel up there play boat games. So he'll have another boat game to play. I was going to keep it secret, but no, I'm going to just throw it all in a box with some packaging and be like, knock yourselves out. I could try and sell it, but it'd be more difficult to sell it than it would be just to send it to that dude. So, but yeah, nobody likes any of that. But yeah, Wizard. I mean, I'm still like super hyped about the market art you showed. Like the one art piece where they're in the market and it's kind of medieval, like Near East kind
of like North African, maybe.
Yeah, like it could be a market in Alexandria or somewhere like that. And it's like that one I really liked. I was like, oh my God, that one is so good.
Would you like to see it again?
If you want to put it up, sure. I'm just saying I'm a huge fan of that one.
I actually got some new ones too.
The Ninth Gate one actually kind of creeped me out because I watched the Ninth Gate recently. So when I saw that one, the first thing I thought is, oh shit, they're out there looking for woodcuts made by LCF.
I'll tell you what, why don't we just cycle through the lot of them and just clip like a slideshow? Yeah, exactly. Just give it a second.
The 6 or so people in the audience, you can look at Bear's art for his new game.
It sounds like I gotta go. We'll see.
I gotta go. It's late. I left.
Bye.
I've been advertised something. I gotta go.
No. The thing is he's got his young
nephew
relatives there, and sometimes they run up and they want him to
sharing.
Be uncle, and he's got to be uncle because that's the way it is. Oh, those are cool. Is that an elf?
Yeah, so those are some elves. I don't know what this is, just filler art, which is really nice.
Oh, that looks cool though.
There's some cool shit there.
I like the camels going up the mountainside and stuff. I'm a huge fan of that. That's more of that North African, Near East stuff that I love.
Sure. This is the 3 types of magic that are the primary, right? You got the spellbinder on the left who uses spells, the sorcerer who controls the universe, and the channeler that channels exterior power through them.
deities
that's
and
fun.
whatever, right?
Deities, demons, old powers, what have you,
Uh,
Dwarves working.
grumpy-ass dwarves, the guy getting ready to die and join his ancestors. Oh, that's cool too. Look at that.
Another market, which is less
And a dagger
release time.
next to a book about being valorous.
Yes.
I always love the market scenes. Oh, look at that. A knight fighting a demon. That's holy shit. They're gigantic. Are they gods?
I don't know why it did that, so I'll probably either crop it or just use Photoshop to paint out the smaller guys, so it just looks like two people fighting.
I
That
would have liked it either way. That's good.
That's got a weird sword that's got to be fixed. It's so strange.
Yeah, they're touching tips.
Yeah, exactly. They're docking.
They're docking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool dungeon.
I'd rather dock than soak.
All right. The fighter's saying the wizard, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Got the blacksmith. We love blacksmith.
Now, for some reason, it put googly eyes on everything, so we have to fix that. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you know what? I love the idea that a sinkhole opened up in the middle of the town,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's like a whole crypt thing going on down here.
Yeah.
Did you ever play in Tolus there, James, or no?
Tolus, no, but in Adventure Conquer King, like the third big campaign book, there's like 4 distinct dungeons underneath the main town and the frontier. Because like the elves made one, and then the lizard men made one, and then like the evil humans made one, the Zaharan, and then like there's the one that's on top of all of that, the sewer. So you go through the sewer, and the deeper you get, the older you get. It is, you know. Yeah. It's like an orc or something building himself an axe.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It fucked up the blades, but still, it's really nice image for the.
No, kind of like that blade. It's like a mix between an axe and a sword.
All
right. Well, I mean, you know,
this is cool.
Yeah,
that's
one of them that I was like really digging on.
That's a really fun little market.
Yeah.
Just eating a helmet, another crypt with some weird ass googly eyes over here that I got to remove, but that's fine.
Yeah, but crypts are always fun.
I love this one.
Look at them all. They're so happy they killed that forest demon or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I guess somebody could be like, it's a minotaur, but no, that looks more like some kind of.
Did it start in the middle of everything? Hang on, let me go back.
Know. And I'll tell you what.
There we go. All right. There we go.
Oh, that's cool. Barbarians attacking the gate.
Those are orcs.
Hell yeah. Okay. Oh, a ninja creeping around on the roof, or a thief. I know, but whatever. If you wear black pajamas and you creep around doing shit, I'm going to call you a ninja.
Another version of that one. This one I like.
Are they like trying to hire a room at the tavern or looking for...
They got maps, so who knows? But the halfling looks like he's going to rob them. Another version of that again. Coming through the gate with their kill.
And, of course, the little street urchins are running around.
Oh, yeah. Just a strange old battle in the winter.
Hell, yeah. That could be set in, like, the depths of the winter in Russia. Two different clans duking it out for property or honor.
I love that one.
Little halfling or a very young fighter?
Just a young lad setting out on his first steps of adventure.
See, and all of this art you've made actually makes me think, hey, you know, playing D&D might actually be a good time. Or a fantasy role-playing game, I should say, since this is Valorous. But you know what
this one I got to fix. I got to remove the dice over his head, and I got to remove the mic stand. Because I don't think they had mic stands in the Middle Ages.
Probably not, but I mean, still, I mean, okay, you point out the little things I don't even notice.
Yeah, but that's what I have to look for to fix, because otherwise we're just going to hear shit from the people that
I think I'm just more of a macro kind of guy. I look at the overall feeling of the picture and I'm like, damn, that's cool. Like a harp in the middle of a ruined hall. Okay. What's going on there?
Yeah.
A before and after?
Who knows?
A young wizard training and maybe his master, or maybe him in 50 years.
The idea is that it's him 50 years later, right?
Yeah, I mean, he started out, and now here he is, and Elder. Oh, I like that. Just the guys sitting around the fire. I would definitely be the dude whittling.
Yeah, the guy playing the guitar, you got the wolf howling along. I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that is fun. Like a druidess or something, just doing some shit. Studying maps, something that players don't do enough.
Yep.
Like my players spend so much time in the Sheldamar Valley, they don't even know where Keelland is compared to the Grand Duchy. It's like, you guys could buy a map, right? It's like, oh yeah. They're plotting.
Right
There's plots going on there. Nice.
Digging that church.
I like that. With the I don't know if those are the dead guys in the swamp.
Yeah, I would probably remove. I'm probably going to remove the bright skull and leave the ghostly thing in, because this sort of jars it. Which, if you take that out, you got the will-o-wisps and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Some elves getting ready to ambush some people.
Yeah.
Get the F out of our forest, you round-eared bastards.
The wizard and the fighter arguing about what they're going to do next, and you got the halfling and the elf looking bored as fuck because they're tired of this argument.
Yeah, they're just like, come on, man, just make up your mind.
When he was born and when he's as a man, right?
Yeah, look at that. He's getting, the priest is putting some blessings on him, and now he's like a paladin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, those hands are scary. That's not cool. I mean, undead hands shooting out of the floor to get you. Not a good thing. I wouldn't like any of that.
That's all of them. Where's that one market one you like? Let me find it. I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't show that one, but it's the one where you had to fix the wolf because it was intersecting a wagon. But still, every other part of it is like beautiful. I loved it.
You've got some good stuff to work with there.
I mean, I wouldn't notice half of the stuff he noticed because I'm just like looking at it and being like, damn, that's cool.
Bear, you're definitely selling me on using black and white art for my system.
Yeah, always.
You know,
that's weird. I don't know why it's not showing. That's really weird. It's not showing it at all.
Maybe it's in another.
No, it just, if for some reason it's not showing. Hang on, let me try something. No, okay, so yeah, we got everything. Why am I not seeing it? That's just so strange.
Hold on, though. I don't think I seen the one with the army marching out from the city that you.
Yeah, you did.
That flashed
did.
by.
Which
did
one?
I?
With the queen looking down on them?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Yeah, we did that one. We saw that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The art is good. It's consistent, and it makes you want to.
Let me find that image for you that you like, because it's not showing up here, so I've got to see what happened to it.
And that is the most important thing with art in a role-playing game.
It skipped a ton of images. Hang on.
Play. And unfortunately, I don't give a shit what the madman from the city of brotherly love says. WotC art is not making me want to pick up dice.
Nope.
It's actually kind of making me want to go to confession.
Yep.
It's like
all I see when I look at the WotC stuff as of late. I remember when I was a kid and I got bullied, and now these kids aren't getting bullied, so we have to put on our bully outfits and go bully them.
That's what I told Double D. I said, this art, I want to apologize to everyone who bullied me for playing D&D in high school. Because who knew it would come to this? But, George, just my opinion, but, hey, what's up, Dean? How you doing? My brother from Denmark. I prefer black and white art. I know some people had some stuff to say about OSE and Dragon Slayer and whatever with the black and white art. But, I mean, having one or two color pieces here and there, that's okay, fine, whatever. But if you're going to be like 6th edition and have just lame-ass cow art, it don't matter how you color it. It sucks.
Yeah, color would not save 6E.
Whereas the art that Bear just showed off, that makes me actually think, maybe, throwing dice. be a good idea. Because some of those characters I could see me wanting to actually play. Or
Well, that's
run a
good.
game with those characters in the game.
That's good.
Well, I'm not trying to glaze you up or anything.
No,
but
no.
artistry inspirational. You know, it kind of makes you want to look into it more. Like, would you like to know more? Yes or no?
So I'm going back to the original messages where I got the art sent to me, and I'm seeing a bunch of pieces that didn't download for some reason. So I got to go re-download them. So that's what I'm going to do right now while I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I'm really
Well,
happy that you
what
did
time do
this.
we got though? Because
I found the image you like.
good.
There.
I'm glad you did because I promised my wife I would eat dinner with her at 5.
There.
She has been working her butt off to cook me dinner.
This is the one you liked.
Shadow only sees black and white, so he prefers black and white.
James, I'm sharing the one that you like.
Yep, I missed it. Now I'm adding it because I was too busy looking at something else real quick.
All
There.
good. All good.
Boom.
So this is the one you liked. It's basically the market, and like that, I have to fix that because I'm just going to take that animal out, and that'll make life easier, I think.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's got all the market stuff going on, and you know, it's a good
Because
picture.
for a lot of fantasy role players, in my experience DMing since forever,
Yeah,
a lot of players love their time at the market. It can
That's
actually
true.
be kind of annoying, but you know, if you got like my brother in the game, he's going to try to haggle every merchant in the market down for everything. And he actually enjoys that. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go in and try to dwarf these guys down to save a couple silver here and there.
yeah.
And, you know, I mean, so I love market scenes. It's like a, what do you call that? Like a slice of life kind of thing, you know?
Sure.
You've got adventures, but you got like just normal people, maybe some town guards. I mean, there's a whole that picture is telling a whole story.
Well, and that's what makes
At
it
least in
fun,
my
right?
brain.
No, and that's what makes it fun. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a great thing, and that's what I wanted, right? I wanted stuff that was evocative, right, and made you think. So we're getting that, and that makes me really happy. There are some weird AI artifacts we have to deal with. Obviously, that's the way AI art is, but
That's
it's
the way
easily
it
dealt
is.
with. It's easily dealt with. But
Even with the wolf thing standing the way it is, I didn't notice it until you pointed it out. I was
yeah, but I saw it right away. That's the thing, right?
See,
My
I
eye
was
goes
so
right
busy
to it.
looking at the big picture. Look at all these people conducting business and going about their lives, and it looks like it could be in Anatolia or Greece or something. And you know, just like I love it. Now that said, guys, and especially Bear, because you joined last, or Bruce, I can't stream too long. I promised my wife 5 o'clock. I'm off the computer.
Good.
I'm in the living room eating the delicious dinner she's been working all day on for me. The garlic bread is in the oven. You know, garlic bread's what makes me fat. But anyway, to quote a Canadian movie, garlic bread makes you fat?
I like garlic bread better than bread.
Yeah, who doesn't? But what was that?
I
Scott
love the
Pilgrim?
meme.
Yes.
I love the meme of it shows you regular bread and then the garlic bread, and you're like, I love garlic bread.
There's like a punk group that does a song about how Scott Pilgrim ruined all modern women
Ha!
because
I
they all
agree.
want to be like the one chick that dyes her hair different color every day.
Yeah, they all want to be fucking whatever her fucking name is. I hate that character so much. Oh my god.
Right? And it's like, but then they always say Ramona or whatever.
Ramona,
But then they're always like, but I would still hit it. Like they spend a whole verse talking about what a horrible human being she is, and then they say,
So,
but I still hit it.
in the comics, he
Isn't that
actually
Toronto?
yeah, and in the comics he actually goes with the Asian girl at the end because he realizes she actually likes him and she's the right choice. For some reason, the director of the movie, nope, he's got to go with Ramona Flowers. And it's just
You
like,
know what? My wife and I said the same thing, Bear, and I've never read those comics.
Yeah.
We both said he should have stayed with Knives. She
Yeah.
obviously was in love with him.
Yeah.
Whereas Ramona, it was always like, you never know. She's like a freaking cat. You can't tell what she's thinking.
No, exactly.
Sorry I couldn't join. Busy day. Hey, it's been a bit. Like I said, I just got out of the freaking dentist, and the wife woke up first thing this morning and because when she cooks this dinner, it takes a long time. With Italian sausages, that's what I'm talking about, and peppers, yeah. So, and we'll probably watch The Boys, which, Soldier Boy's back in the tube, so we'll see what happens from here on out. But the season with him in it was actually really good. I thought it would be, and it was. It was interesting. Of course, Homelander blew some liberal idiot's head off, and the crowd just started cheering. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, but then again, you shouldn't throw your drink at Homelander's kid. I mean, are you stupid?
Apparently he was.
Like, he can literally just look at you and make you die. So you're going to chuck something at his son? Not a good move, man. It's almost like a Darwin thing. Like, maybe that guy needed to be taken out of the gene pool. He's not smart. Like me, if someone like Homelander landed in front of me, I'd be on my best behavior.
No shit.
Because, I don't want to have my whole head just melted off. Or be beaten to death and left on a roof somewhere. I mean, this guy's obviously a sociopath, or a psychopath. He's not right. And the only thing he seems to give a shit about right now is his son. So, by all means, attack his son. I mean, that's going to work out. It was kind of a weird twist for me to find out that Homelander was Soldier Boy's genetic son.
Yeah.
That was kind of wild. I was like, and there for a second, I thought Soldier Boy was going to team up with Homelander. When he was talking to, "You're my son, I wish I could have raised you, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, oh no. Here it goes. And then, other things happen. But just got Solomon Kane on DVD. Well, watch it. You're going to like it.
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Where's Scott? He's just left. Yeah, because he jumps out of the freaking window.
Janet hasn't seen that movie yet. I can't wait to show her that.
Solomon Kane?
Solomon Kane.
Yeah, it's a good movie. She'll love it. She was in very early. Like, as soon as I started, Janet popped in and said, "Hey, how you doing?" We chatted for a minute, and then I think she took off to do other things. But yeah, I have used all my time.
Okay.
I have to be nice to my wife. If she's going to spend 8 hours cooking a meal, especially for me,
Absolutely.
the least I can do is go eat it and watch TV.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Homelander's weakness is zinc. You can't see through zinc. That is so weird. But I'll catch all you. Well, do you guys remember Megamind when Metro Man pretended that his weakness was copper? "Oh, you mad fiend. Copper, my only weakness." Megamind's like, "Wait, what? Copper?" Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm ending it. Thank you guys for joining me. It was a pleasure. I'll catch you later.
Bye.
Bye. Peace and love. Also, I love your art.